Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Till date, no Prime Minister outside the Gandhi-Nehru Parivar has been voted to power for a third consecutive term. Will 2024 be the game changer? Prime Minister Narendra Modi has roared already from the ramparts of the Red Fort, "Main agle saal phir aaunga." But can the Special 26 under the umbrella of India halt the Modi magic? ETG Times Now poll survey gets you accurate, in-depth and precise projections for the 2024 war. Over the next 1 hour, we will answer, will BJP's Hindi heartland domination remain intact? Will there be winds of change in Western India, bastions of the BJP? Can Mamata Banerjee stop the lotus from blooming in Bengal? And did BJP's Look East policy really work for them? First, let's tell you about the basis and the methodology of these projections. Sample size for this survey is around 1,10,662 people who have responded. The margin of error is about plus minus 3%. The survey is conducted via telephonic as well as door-to-door visits between the 15th of June to the 12th of August. So it is a big spread that we are taking into account, and the big spread of time along with the kind of respondents we have, it could be the most efficient surveys that you've seen in a long time. Let me introduce the panel coming up tonight on the NewsHour, and on this survey of ETG Research with Times Now. Joining me tonight, Gaurav Bhatia, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author and scientist, Karthik Reddy, National Spokesperson of the BRS, Ghanshyam Tiwari, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Dr. Sanjay Jha, author and my favorite introduction for him, suspended Congress leader, and he's a good sport. He always smiles whenever I say that to him. Dr. Riju Datta, National Spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Mr. Pugal Gandhi, advocate and national spokesperson of the DMK, Kishore Tiwari, leader of the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena, and with me in the studios is Piyush Tanwar, ETG Research Head. And Piyush Tanwar, I want to ask you, what are the surprises? Is this survey actually going to get the chemistry behind the mathematics of the India alliance that has come together?
True. So now, as I mentioned, that it's not necessary when a lot of parties come in an alliance and it's going to get benefit out of it. So sometimes it works in the favor, or sometimes it doesn't work. It works against it. So we will see in the in 1 hour show or whatever. We'll see how it is not going to change what we are expecting or what the opposition is expecting.
Well, so let's straight away go into the field, and let's look at the Hindi heartland. Just between 8 and 9, Padmaja Joshi, my colleague, had shown you the south of India, all the states of Tamil Nadu, Telangana, also Karnataka, Kerala, as well as Andhra Pradesh. And you saw those numbers along with Assam's numbers. Now we are looking at the Hindi heartland, and let's begin with Bihar. That's where the entire India alliance really began from, and we're looking at who will win how many seats in Bihar. Let's take a look at the projections. Well, 20 to 24 seats are projected for the NDA, 16 to 18 for the India Gathbandhan, which includes Lalu Prasad Yadav's party, Congress party, as well as Nitish Kumar's JDU, all of them coming together and getting 16 to 18 seats, total 40 seats in Bihar. Those are the numbers on your screen. If you look at the vote share in Bihar, the vote share is 46.10% for the NDA, 44.20% for India, 9.70% for the others. That's the Bihar number. How this really behaves in terms of the grand proposition made by Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad Yadav, along with Rahul Gandhi, coming together in Bihar, it seems the advantage continues to be with the BJP, but definitely the BJP will face a few losses because last time around in 2019 they won I think 39 out of the 40 seats in Bihar, and this time with the JDU splitting up, the NDA will consist of Chirag Paswan and the BJP. BJP had around 17 seats last time. This time 20 to 24 along with the Chirag Paswan and the LJP. A bit of a loss as far as the total numbers from Bihar are concerned. Let's take a look at now election-bound Madhya Pradesh. Who will win how many seats in Madhya Pradesh? Let's take a look. NDA 24 to 26 seats, India 3 to 5, others 0. So BJP couple of seats down in Madhya Pradesh. 29 seats come in the Lok Sabha from Madhya Pradesh. As of now, the BJP 24 to 26, 3 to 5 will be shared between the Congress party and the other alliance partners. Let's take a look at the vote shares. 52.9%, almost 53% for the NDA, about 40% for India, 7.2% for the others. So the BJP comfortably 50% plus in Madhya Pradesh, and that's an election-bound states, but this is the Lok Sabha election that we are talking about, and when it's Modi on the EVM, clearly chemistry is different. Let's now take a look at what will be the vote share in Chhattisgarh, and let's take a look at let's take a look at Delhi. Delhi, 7 seats in the Lok Sabha, and in Delhi the BJP has won 7 out of 7 in the last 2 elections of 2014 and 2019. This time 5 to 6 by the BJP and about 1 to 2 by India, which means the Aam Aadmi Party. You're not counting the Congress getting any Lok Sabha seats in Delhi, are you?
Like AAP's.
Okay. Let's take a look at the party-wise split. BJP 5 to 6, AAP 1 and Congress 1. Okay, that's the split that is coming across in Delhi, and that's where the battle really begins. Sanjay Jha, already Arvind Kejriwal flexing his muscles and saying in Delhi, I'm going to fight all the 7 against the BJP. So where's the Congress going to go? And is this the beginning of the cracks? Unmute yourself, Sanjay Jha. Well, let me come back to you after Delhi. Let's go to the next state that we are looking at, Rajasthan, another poll-bound state. And Rajasthan, 25 seats come from Rajasthan. And again, last 2 elections, it has been 25 on 25 for the BJP. This time around, 19 to 22 for the NDA and 2 to 4 for the India Alliance, 0 to 1 for the others. That is how Rajasthan is looking, and that's also a loss of 5 or 6 seats that can happen to the BJP in Rajasthan after 2 consecutive sweeps. Let's take a look at the vote shares. 55.2% for the NDA, 35.9% for India, 8.9% for the others. That's how Rajasthan is looking. Let's also take a look at now the numbers that are coming in from UP. UP has 80 seats, the largest state in the country, and BJP 69 to 73 seats. Remember in 2014 they had won 71 seats. It was down to 62 seats in 2019. This time around, again an improvement, 69 to 73 seats, 5 to 9 seats for India. BSP 0 to 1, others 1 to 3. And vote percentages, again, if we look at the vote percentages, those numbers coming on your screen. Ghanshyam Tiwari, 51% plus in UP, 38% to India, 6.4 to BSP, 4.2 to others. Ghanshyam Tiwari, that looks a huge vote share in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, as well as in UP. The BJP is in a 50 plus percentage point situation, and UP, it's improving its tally. Rajasthan, some some losses there in a few seats. Madhya Pradesh also a couple of seats coming down. But overall, in the Hindi heartland, the BJP looks in pole position.
Good evening, Navika ji, to you, the viewers and fellow co-panelists. I congratulate your team for completing this large survey. Three things are important in this case. One is that Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh are up for election. And as they say, ki doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega, it will be clear. Interestingly, in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, BJP does not even have a chief minister candidate. This is how confident they are about the elections in states that are right there. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, the complete mismanagement of the civic amenities in Uttar Pradesh and the complete bulldozer raj of Adityanath ji is going to backfire on BJP. I respect any survey that comes out, but clearly this is a survey that does not sit well with the ground situation that we see in Uttar Pradesh.
Well, let me get in Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, not too many gains for the Congress party in Delhi. You ain't getting anything. And as I asked you earlier, Arvind Kejriwal not interested in giving you any seats, and Mr. Pratap Singh Bajwa in Punjab doesn't want to give any seats to the Aam Aadmi party. In Uttar Pradesh, not too many in the India Gathbandhan, and in Rajasthan. And remember, we are talking about Lok Sabha elections, and when there is Modi's face on the EVMs, the advantage necessarily stays with the BJP.
Navika, I do think things have changed and they are changing. That's the beauty of politics. Politics is fluid. I mean, when they say a week is a long time in politics, I think, in my opinion, in the age that we live in, even a couple of days can be, a game changer. I can tell you that my understanding of politics across, various countries that I follow very closely, it's all about momentum. It's like in sports, you get a momentum, you start winning. And even if you're playing well, you might be losing. I do believe that the momentum has shifted in favor of India alliance, clearly. Mr. Modi is, I think the turning point will be the extraordinary silence over Manipur. That's not going to die down. I think the entire country is aware of the very terrible, pathetic governance that the BJP has demonstrated, and the very uninspiring and almost, I think, disastrous leadership that has been demonstrated by Mr. Modi. I also believe that the wrestlers issue is going to get many women to never vote for the BJP again. The insult to the champion women wrestlers. I mean, every person is asking themselves, if this can happen to the women who bring pride to this country in the international competitions of the world, where do we stand? I think people have also seen that the courts have begun to use language like, is there ethnic cleansing happening? And I'm referring to what happened in Haryana. I mean, these are serious issues, Navika. I'm not even getting into the details on unemployment, inflation, and the overall capture of institutions and so on and so forth. At a broader level, if you add to the story the spread of hate, you have a constable in a train hunting down Muslims and killing them. It tells you that India somewhere down the line has to take a call. Is 2024 then a battle, not just for the India alliance to win, but for the whole concept of India, the constitutional purity of this country? Are we truly going to be secular, democratic, liberal, progressive, tolerant, and be one? I keep hearing Mr. Modi talk about GDP, 5 trillion, but I think Mr. Modi forgets the people of this country don't live in an economy, they live in a society before they live in an economy. And I think the disruption of society, the division of our communities, the complete dysfunctionality of the way governance ought to happen for the poorest and the weakest person in our society, I think is ravaged by this government. So I agree with Ghanshyam to a great extent that December elections will show you a trend. Although I'll put a caveat, and I'm reasonable enough to say that even if the Congress does very well in the December elections, the general elections in 24 will be a different proposition. So Mr. Modi has still got to be fought. But I do believe that India will defeat.
Fight him all you will. Fight him all you will. But Gaurav Bhatia, will the state of Manipur determine how people will vote in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh? I want to just take this forward and There's one way of looking at things in India, which is the Dr. Sanjay Jha and Ghanshyam Tiwari way, which is that everything is a problem, nothing is going right. And there is the other way that the BJP would want to look at, everything is perfect and the momentum is with Modi and his team. How do you look at the truth? Is it somewhere in between, or is it only one way, the Modi way?
Navika, you're having this discussion on mood of the nation. Let me summarize it by saying, कहाँ पड़े हो चक्कर में, कोई नहीं है टक्कर में. I am the only speaker so far who would clearly tell you one thing. BJP will get more than 303 seats. NDA will cross the 400 mark. And Narendra Modi ji will be blessed by the people of the country with a third term. Neither did Samajwadi Party spokesperson tell you the number of seats, nor did the Congress sympathizer Mr. Sanjay Jha ever gather the courage to tell you the number of seats Congress will get. Let me come to the reason. Why do people in India believe in Narendra Modi ji? Why is he the tallest leader in the world? Why do they say, Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi? There is a reason. The first reason, the NDA will do well. After their Bihar meeting of the Ghamandia group, the NDA has expanded and the Ghamandia has shrunk. Ajit Pawar also came with us. The first and the foremost reason why we will get over 303 seats. We are not like a rudderless ship, like Titanic, ready to sink, which Ghamandia is. We have a leader. And every ally believes in the leadership of Narendra Modi ji. You ask anybody, they will say Narendra Modi ji is a leader. You go to the Ghamandia group, you ask TMC, he will say Mamta Banerjee. You ask up, they will say Arvind Kejriwal. Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav. 1, 2. It is the ideology which is firm. Historical decisions taken, Article 370 abrogation, Ram Mandir, one rank, one pension implementation, GST, PFI ban, and empowerment for the citizens like Mudra Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, many schemes. And there is no discrimination on the basis of religion. So therefore, I feel we have a very strong ideology which the people believe in. And these parties do not have that. And third, the strength of our cadre, dedicated, selfless. They are not vying for position or power like the Gandhi Parivar, and they want to serve the country. And I want to tell the Congress sympathizer, Mr. Sanjay Jha, don't go by what I am saying, but I will tell you a few statements made by the Congress leaders. As we discuss today about the fate of the 2024 elections, Navika, do you know Alka Lamba, Congress spokesperson, which Sanjay Jha is not? She made a statement that all 7 seats in Delhi will be contested by the Congress party, later reprimanded. Their state president said the same thing. Aam Aadmi Party is a corrupt party. Samajwadi Party and Congress Party came together to defeat the Bharatiya Janata Party in the assembly elections of 2017. टूटी साइकिल का भी कुछ नहीं हुआ, पंजे का अलग फ्रैक्चर हो गया. And that is why I say, just because they're coming together, they don't pose a challenge to us. Rather, they pose a threat to themselves because they do not have a leader and ideology and cadre.
Well, challenge.
Third very important point.
Challenge to hai, Gaurav Bhatia. You know, you can't say nobody poses a challenge to you because let's be realistic. It's the third term.
आपको challenge बताता हूँ.
You've got to see who your opponent is and never undermine your opponent. That's the first rule of any match that is played. But let me.
Can I answer that?
Okay. Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Can I quickly? Yes. Let's go by what Mr. Kharge said. Mr. Kharge said that, yes, we admit we do not have it in ourselves to defeat the BJP alone. Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, when asked by a journalist, what about this Ghamandia? He said, bhai, majboori hai. Majboori. Agar na Ghamandia mein jate, to hum to khatam ho jate. And today I gave you example of Alka Lamba and also their Delhi state president. What does it show? They do not have any ideology and leadership. Navika in Uttar Pradesh. Last time SP and BSP came together, all the channels did mood of the nation. They were giving us 35 to 40 seats. What happened? We got 63 seats. Why? because people believe in us. It doesn't matter who comes with whom. What matters is that Narendra Modi ji today is a leader who inspires confidence. He sacrificed for the country, and people believe it is time to reward Narendra Modi ji's leadership.
Well, let me get in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Hindi heartland. Well, in the south, it's not any real surprise that the BJP does not have too much to field from the south and the southern states in terms of numbers of seats. Karnataka, stronghold last time around in 2019. This time, not going to give them as many seats as it did last time. So there are going to be losses there. But if you look at the Hindi heartland, as we are doing, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, more or less intact, a few losses here and there made up maybe with the gains that are at least visible in Uttar Pradesh. Do you think the BJP does not have a challenge at all, as stated by Gaurav Bhatia here? Or do you think, despite the fact that all that Gaurav Bhatia has listed as ideologies and decisions that the BJP has taken, they should not have lost then Karnataka and Himachal in the past? Because Article 370, one rank, one pension should have made them win other states as well. It hasn't happened in the past. Where do you see the truth being, given the number projections as we are standing today in August 2023, when we are projecting for the Lok Sabha elections of 2024?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. It's a very enchanting debate, but let me begin by saying that somebody once asked Mao Zedong, I think in the 1960s, sir, what do you think is the impact of the French Revolution? And Mao said, it's too early to say. So what we're discussing right now, I say there's still one whole year left, and so many things can happen.
Who said 8 months?
All right, 8 months. 8 months, yes, 8 months. So there are so many things that can happen to the advantage of the BJP, or so many things that can happen to the advantage of I.N.D.I.A. But the fact remains that, can I be, without being patronizing to my other lovely fellow panelists, stick to the debate at hand at 9 p.m., not at 8 p.m., but at 9 p.m. And you've shown us the figures of Bihar, of the, as you say, the Hindi heartland, of UP, of Chhattisgarh. I will stick to only that. I will not go as far as what my good friend Gaurav ji has said, which he had also said after Karnataka exit polls and after other exit polls, that BJP said is going to win a landslide, and it didn't happen. So politicians have a way of saying things, and good luck to them. But let's analyze just this fact, Navika, if maybe. Now you look at Uttar Pradesh, right? And you had my good friend Ghanshyam saying that it's an absolutely hopeless situation and BJP is going to lose, and Yogi. Really, Ghanshyam? The first and only prime minister to be re-elected after 35 years in Uttar Pradesh is Yogi Adityanath. He is right now governing the size of... Ghanshyam, I didn't interrupt you. Thank you.
You said prime minister.
You said prime minister. Please correct yourself to a chief minister. As of now.
I spoke too early. I apologize. I spoke 5 years too early. No, I meant chief minister. No, the fact of the matter is he...
disappointed.
Ghanshyam,
it's a Freudian slip.
Yes, as it is now, you're getting nightmares with Modi. Just imagine, Sanjay, what happens when Yogi comes. It won't be Freudian slip anymore. But Navika, can I please? I did interrupt anyone. Please, I did.
The more you ignore Amit Shah, the more Gaurav's job will be in danger.
Okay. Let's cut out the banter, because we have lots of numbers to go through. Anand Ranganathan, please make your point.
Correct. So I want to stick to this fact, which is the results of your poll, Navika. And please analyze this. What explains this repeated thundering success in Uttar Pradesh? Unless you analyze this, I'm sorry, 80 seats. Everything else is passé. So let me tell you what explains this. In no other state, BJP or non-BJP or any other thing, is the double engine thing working as beautifully and perfectly as Uttar Pradesh. It is a fact. Naysayers might say, no, this is wrong, that is wrong. But the fact of the matter is that UP is an exception. And I'm willing to put even Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan away from it. UP as a state is an exception where the double engine sarkar is working perfectly. And how do you analyze this? People will ask. I'll give you 3 parameters. I'll give you the wealth parameter, I will give you the health parameter, and I will give you the education parameter. These are the state parameters. In 5 years flat, the GDP per capita of Uttar Pradesh has risen by 16,000. In 5 years flat, the infant mortality rate has come down of Uttar Pradesh by 10 points. In 5 years flat, the number of school girls going to school has increased by 10 percentage points. This is what real double engine sarkar is supposed to do. It is not doing it in other double engine sarkar states. That is why BJP might lose and has already lost them. But in Uttar Pradesh, somebody has to explain why 90% of the seats you are projecting is going to be held by the BJP. It is spectacular. 70 out of 80 is not a joke, Navika. Somebody has to explain it. And you can't just explain it by Yogi ka gunda raj, iska gunda raj, uska gunda raj. No. People are voting for Modi and Yogi. Please understand this.
Absolutely. And when you look at these numbers in a third term, it makes you sit back and wonder what is really going on in Uttar Pradesh and why other parties, at least in this survey, are not looking like they're even being able to play catch up for the moment. And if you have to debate numbers, we can debate 2014 numbers, 2019 numbers, and the projections for 2024, Ghanshyam Tiwari. But let's go across to the second part of the number game here. Are there winds of change that are happening in the West? And let's take a look at first Maharashtra and then Gujarat. Maharashtra, a lot of hodgepodge in the politics of Maharashtra has happened. 48 seats here, 28 to 32 likely to go to the NDA, 15 to 19 would go to the India, 1 to 2 to the others. Now, look at the vote share coming up on your screens, but let me ask Mr. Kishore Tiwari. Mr. Kishore Tiwari, Maharashtra, Shiv Sena has broken, NCP has broken, and what is left now in the India or the Aghadi is actually a small Congress party, a chota Shiv Sena and a chota NCP. The bigger chunks have gone towards the NDA. How is the Aghadi or the India alliance likely to perform in the Lok Sabha elections? And somewhere or the other, उद्धव ठाकरे थोड़े नर्वस तो हैं जब शरद पवार जी रोज-रोज अजीत पवार से मिलते हैं।
अब शरद, देखिए, आपका मैं कन्वर जी को कांग्रेचुलेट करूंगा कि 1,10,000 के ऊपर सैंपल साइज है, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र के अंदर मैं विचलित नहीं हो रहा हूं क्योंकि परसेंटेज 2-3% तो ऐसे ही आ जाएंगे। और मैं अभी भी बताता हूं कि शरद पवार आ जाएंगे कहां से, पेड़ से गिरेंगे? अरे भाई देखिए, 12 जो इतर है, हाँ, जो तुम अदर में गिरने है, तो जो अदर वाले जो लोग हैं वो भी हमसे चर्चा ही कर रहे हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि आपके जितने प्रोजेक्शन है उसको मैं सीरियसली ले रहा हूं। यूपी, मध्य प्रदेश और राजस्थान में मैं देख रहा हूं कि दिसंबर के बाद लोगों का मूड कुछ बदलेगा, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र के हिसाब से तो हम आश्वस्त है कि मुझे लगता है कि 4 सीटें बीजेपी को जाएगी और 44 सीटें ये एनडीए या इंडिया अलायंस के पास रहेगी। लेकिन मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं, आपके प्रोजेक्शन के बाद तो और एक बार कह दूंगा कि कांग्रेस को रीजनल फोर्सेस जो है उसको उनकी स्पेस बराबर देनी होगी। तो हम आपके सर्वे को बहुत सीरियसली लेते हैं।
संजय झा, द वार्निंग इज टू यू, बीजेपी के साथ उनकी सुलह, वो कह रहे हैं 4 सीटें इनको मिलेंगी, इनसे क्या लड़ना है तो कांग्रेस पार्टी से के रीजनल, गौरव भाटिया, 4 सीट्स फॉर द बीजेपी सेज मिस्टर किशोर तिवारी।
नाविका,
कुछ बताना चाहेंगे आप इन्हें?
नहीं, संजय भी बंबई रहते हैं, उनको मालूम है ना हमारी ताकत।
नहीं, गौरव भाटिया जी पहले और फिर आई विल गेट इन संजय झा।
नहीं, वो
मैं तो
दिल्ली
इनसे
रहते
इतना
होंगे,
ही
नहीं मालूम।
कहूंगा कि कम से कम संजय राउत के बारे में सोचे हैं। संजय राउत जी तो बेइज्जती कर रहे हैं शरद पवार जी की। वो कह रहे हैं ये जो छुप छुप के मिलते हैं ये अच्छी बात नहीं है। और किशोर जी इतना मुस्कुरा रहे हैं, मैं तो कहूंगा मैं बिल्कुल सहमत हूं इनकी बात से। भाई इनको स्पेस मिलना चाहिए। सिकुड़ के कितने छोटे से रह गए। उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने कहा था मैं अपनी दुकान बंद कर दूंगा लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी के साथ नहीं जाऊंगा। उद्धव ठाकरे ने वही किया, सिकुड़ गए। अब स्पेस मिलना चाहिए, थोड़ा फैलेंगे फूलेंगे। लेकिन एक बात बता दूं, कुछ भी कर लो, आएंगे मोदी जी ही 48। अब मैं बीच में आपके बोला भी नहीं था, मैं आपके बीच में नहीं बोला था, नोटी नहीं हुई है। आप नोटी हो जाते बीच बीच में, उखाड़ देंगे नोटी। ऐसा नहीं करते भाई, ऐसा नहीं करते। उखाड़ देंगे आप, हम ही को उखाड़ देंगे। अरे रणदीप सुरजेवाला कहते हैं जो बीजेपी को वोट करता है वो राक्षस होगा। आप कहते हैं उखाड़ देंगे। हम जाए तो जाए कहाँ?
No, but on a serious note, Gaurav Bhatia, in the last two elections, 2014 and 2019, the BJP had 23 seats in both elections and Shiv Sena had 18 in both elections. That was 41 out of the 48. This time around, with Shiv Sena not really, or the original Shiv Sena not being with you, 41 वाला नंबर होता हुआ नजर नहीं आ रहा है इस वक्त. So there is a little bit of a loss that the BJP is seeing in Maharashtra.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. Let me give my reasons in relation to Maharashtra first. When it's a Lok Sabha election, Narendra Modi ji's leadership is the biggest factor in every state. And Shiv Sena, at that time, the United Shiv Sena, could win so many seats only because they were in alliance with us. And let me tell you now, the situation is this, that BJP strength leadership of Devendra Fadnavis ji in Maharashtra, plus also the Ajit Pawar faction which has been added, which wasn't there in the earlier election, and Eknath Shinde ji, I think we'll get all 48 seats. And let me give you one example which is very crucial.
Navika.
Samajwadi Party spokesperson spoke about the 2018 assembly elections of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Navika, do you know we did well in 2 states, but we couldn't form the government there. And what happened just a few months later in the Lok Sabha elections? In Madhya Pradesh, we got 28 seats out of 29. In Rajasthan, 24 out of 25. And in Chhattisgarh, 9 out of 11. What does it show? It shows that there are different issues and there are different aspects to which a voter looks into when they are voting for a Lok Sabha election and in the assembly election. And in Karnataka, remember, the Congress and the JDS had contested together, and still Bharatiya Janata Party got 25 out of the 28 seats. This time JDS is not supporting the Congress. So you can understand what will happen to the Congress in Karnataka. BJP is resilient, strong even in Karnataka, and we'll get victory on all 28 seats.
Well, let me take Gujarat seats. I'm coming to you, Dr. Sanjay Jha, and my friend Riju Datta is getting extremely impatient because I need to pull up Bengal on the screen. First, let's go to Gujarat, and no surprises here. Hat-trick for the BJP here, 26 on 26 in Gujarat, and that is one state where India is not really seeming to have any impact. Congress and Aam Aadmi Party can come together. There's still a 20% gap. 58% for the NDA, 58.6%, India at 38.6%, and clearly 0.26 is the tally that is showing the vote share on your screens. And then let's go straight across to West Bengal. Let's take a look at whether the Look East policy has really helped. We've seen Assam in the last hour. Now West Bengal. 42 seats, 16 to 18 going to the NDA, 23 to 27 going to India. And that shows 18 last time to the NDA, 22 to the Trinamool Congress. It seems pretty much even Stevens where it is. Riju Datta, disappointed?
Navika ji, today is the anniversary anniversary of death of Mr. Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, the tallest leader of BJP, probably Gaurav Bhatia, forget about him, but I will just start off by a couple of words that he said on the floor of the parliament. That पार्टियां आएंगी, पार्टियां जाएंगी, सरकारें बनेंगी, सरकारें बिगड़ेंगी, पर ये देश और इस देश का संविधान रहना चाहिए. So the fight for 2024 is for the country and the constitution, and obviously it's people. Now let me tell you, with all due respect to these polls, if I would have believed any of the polls in the 2021 Vidhan Sabha elections in Bengal, TMC wouldn't have formed the government. So with all due respect, I believe personally that 2024 elections have completely different optics, have completely different perceptions. Pradhan Mantri Modi ji, who used to say ek akela sab pe bhari, after the India alliance formed, he needed crutches of 38 parties to barely stand on his feet. You don't need it. If you hear what Gaurav Bhatia ji said, then Pradhan Mantri didn't need it. Then why did he need that India alliance? Okay. Now I will tell you the biggest factor that is going to be. The biggest factor, I think, in all the states, with an average of 15% vote share, are going to be the SC, ST and the Dalit community, who are hit the hardest by inflation and by unemployment. Yes, Manipur is a factor, but it's a small factor when it comes to election mode in different states. Yes, women's security is a factor which will have an impact. But the biggest impact will be whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Dalit or Brahmin or anybody. You are buying tomatoes at 200 to 50 rupees kg. You are buying petrol at 100 rupees per litre. You are buying gas cylinder at 1200 rupees and there are no jobs. These are factors that are going to turn the tide towards India. There is a huge anti-incumbency against Mr. Modi. And now, just to finish off, let me give you the 5 biggest guarantees that Pradhan Mantri Modi gave. काला पैसा वापस लाएंगे, काला धन, बुलेट ट्रेन चलाएंगे, 2 करोड़ नौकरी देंगे, किसान की आय दुगनी करेंगे और सबको पक्का मकान देंगे. Has any of his promises been fulfilled? So all his guarantees, even the guarantee of coming back to the Red Fort next year, is as real as the aims in Darbhanga. Everything the people of this country are watching. And this vote, coming vote, yes, Narendra Modi is a tall leader, no doubt, but it will. There are a lot of surprises for BJP and Mr. Modi.
Now let me respond to him.
Navika, just 10 seconds.
Yes, the TMC spokesperson started talking about the constitution, and I was remembering the words of Mamata Banerjee, Navika, when she said, if you implement the CA, a validly passed law, on the floor of the House in the Parliament, there will be a civil war. So much of respect for the constitution. And look at the contradiction. What is Ghamandiya? Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the tallest leader of the Congress in the West Bengal state, said that हमारे workers की लाशों पे TMC से समझौता मत करो, because 55 citizens were killed in West Bengal during the panchayat elections, and these people have the audacity to talk about constitution, rights and Mamata Banerjee. Now, what kind of constitution is Mamata Banerjee reading? For the Muslims, I am quoting Mamata Banerjee, उनके शब्द याद आ गए. आप अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की बात कर रहे थे, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे थे. Mamata Banerjee said, ये दूध देने वाली गाय है, इनकी दुलत्ती भी खाएंगे, और हिंदूज को कहती हैं जय श्री राम बोला तो तेरी चमड़ी उधेड़ देंगे. I can tell you, this time Narendra Modi ji leadership will ensure that we get at least 35 seats in West Bengal, more than the TMC. The reason is very simple. The reason is this, that West Bengal is looking for a change. We saw that in the assembly elections, and as I said earlier, Lok Sabha elections will be defining, and they will show the mirror to Mamata Banerjee, who's the most anarchic leader in India.
Well,
second, I just want to say one more thing. Why Modi ji?
Just 10 seconds.
I'm just giving you the
Quick 10 seconds.
Yes. Just 2 minutes, Navika, please.
2 minutes is a long time in a debate. 2 minutes is a long time in a debate, Gaurav Bhatia.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
Complete your point.
1 minute.
I need 15 seconds.
1 minute. Yes.
Many hands going
Yes.
up.
Now
Make your
these
point.
are the numbers. You asked me why Modi ji? I will tell you. The GDP before 2014, 1.8 trillion. After 2014, now 3.7 trillion. Per capita GDP 78,000. Now it's 115,000. Position of the economy 10th before 2014, now it's 5th. Export 200 billion earlier, now 750 billion. Metro cities 5, now 20. Airport 74, now 152. Power in villages 40% earlier, now it is 95%. AIMS 7 earlier, now 22. Expressway length 680 kilometers, now 4,667 kilometers.
Okay.
And similarly, unicorns 114 now. There are many indicators. What does it show? India is growing and this Ghamandia cannot pull us back. They will be terminated. They will be decimated and they will have no place to go.
Let's ask the most serious question at this point. The elephant in the room, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, anti-incumbency, does it count for nothing?
Well, Modi knows about anti-incumbency more than any other politician. 2014 election was very different for him compared to the 2019 one, because in 2019 he had to beat anti-incumbency and he did even better. But I need to make 2 points, and these are very pertinent. Number one, and right now, he also must take into account that UPA ruined a lot of Indian things. So when it got handed over from NDA 1, the economy was in very good shape. UPA ruined it. So the correct... Yes, so, if India is doing very well now, it possibly is doing doubly very well had UPA not intervened and ruined the economy. But the most important point I want to make is this, just 30 seconds. Navika, BJP is winning.
For that, Anand bhai.
BJP is winning, but somebody please tell BJP that. BJP is not sure whether it is winning. And that is the reason why BJP wants to win at all costs. That is the reason why it lost Bengal. Because as many as 30, Gauravji, please.
Can I respond to that quickly with a couplet?
Please, Gauravji, please, I didn't interrupt you. I want to make something very important. BJP doesn't know it's winning. That is why it is scared and paranoia has set in. It wants to win at all costs. That is what explains why its alliance with Maharashtra is with corrupt people whom it was accusing of corruption. That is why it explains why in Bengal, when the stage were absolutely clear for BJP to rule the roost, it lost because as many as 30 candidates were turncoat TMC candidates. BJP does not realize that it will win on the basis of its performance. It time and again, it goes for taking in corrupt people, turncoats, and people
all right, that's an important point, and many people come out and say that why do they want to ally and get in people who are labeled corrupt? But Riju Datta, what's your objection?
Yes, I just counter to Gauravji. Gauravji was talking about GDP and all that. 80% of India does not even understand what GDP is. Votes are not given on ballot box on based of GDP. Now let me, his boss, he says
what are you saying?
Win 35
if the GDP rises, people do well.
Navika ji, 10 seconds.
GDP is the most important.
No, I'm not saying people are not doing well. We understand the panel understands GDP. I'm talking about the general voters of India. 80% of them do not understand the meaning.
So what do they vote on? What do they vote on? What do they vote on? What do people vote on?
Rijuda, I'm sorry.
If it's not the economic situation, if it is
people vote on
Manipur.
People vote on local issues. I'm not talking about the exact meaning.
In Lok Sabha elections, they vote on local
issues. Jobs and local issues.
In Lok Sabha elections, they vote on local issues. Riju Datta.
Come on.
Okay. All right. That's
Navika ji, being a very senior journalist, you think whenever there is voting, it is people are voting only for...
Well, it's time for me to put the overall India, because our two friends from DMK and BRS haven't spoken, and I was waiting to put out the all India numbers on the screen because those numbers will tell you which way things are going. Chhattisgarh, I can just read off a few states. Chhattisgarh, NDA gets 6 to 8 seats. India gets 3 to 5. If you look at Himachal, 3 to 4 seats to NDA, 0 to 1 to India. Jharkhand, 10 to 12 seats to NDA, 2 to 4 seats to India. And then let's take a look at the full tally. Punjab, NDA 2 to 3 seats, India 8 to 12 seats, Shiromani Akali Dal 1 to 2 seats. That's the countdown. But Let's go straight to the All India numbers, and if we take a look at the All India numbers, alliance-wise, NDA 296 to 326, 160 to 190 goes to India, 296 to 326 to NDA, 24 to 25 YSRCP, which is not definitely going with the Congress or the India alliance, BJP 12 to 14 not going with the India alliance, BRS 9 to 11 seats not going with any alliance which has the Congress in it, 11 to 14 goes to others. And Karthik Reddy, my friend, what do you make of this? Third time around, if the Prime Minister said he is going to unfurl the Tiranga from the Red Fort, he seems to be having these calculations at the back of his mind. 288 to 314 seats to the BJP alone. That's a full majority. Third time around.
Navika ji, while I was sitting here for a long time, I was wondering if I could be in a parallel universe where Telangana and South India could have equal or large number of Lok Sabha seats, where would be given priority on national debates or even, for matter of fact, in the parliament.
Well, to set your anxiety, four or five states of the South were given 1 hour from 8 to 9. So we gave them priority. Please do not have any such feelings from Times Now.
You asked Gaurav.
I brought you in on the national picture. Of course, Hindi Heartland, I can't ask you.
Why? Yes, Navika ji, I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to that. You asked Gaurav bhai the same question, the secret of BJP's performance of these numbers that your survey portrays. Gaurav gave an endless list of developments, of welfare, Modi ji's policies for the last 10 years. I would disagree. There are equal number of holes left in after 10 years of NDA rule as they're left by the UPA. But the only difference is UPA failed at its leadership to be shown to the country that BJP did not. Today, the only strength of BJP and the confidence they will come back to power is the other side, it's Congress party and it is Rahul Gandhi. पादयात्रा करने से बस नहीं होता है नाविका जी, दलों को मिलाने में बस नहीं होता है. You have to garner the confidence of this country, the people of this country, only then you will get power. Today, there are problems in the economy. There are problems within many states, which is the federal structure of this country. Yet, the BJP seems to fare very well in most of the states that you're telling us. The reason behind this is not Modi. The reason behind this is Congress party and Rahul Gandhi.
Dr. Sanjay Jha.
And please, Gaurav, don't hype your leader and yourself much up. There's nothing there.
Okay, I'm coming to all of you, but Sanjay Jha respond first and then I'm coming.
Take care of your party. I wish you good luck.
Navika, 2 points. I understand my good friend Reddy Sahab's anxiety because you know why he's pointed out Rahul Gandhi and the Congress repeatedly when you asked him to comment on the bigger national picture, because he's worried, and I understand his apprehensions. The Congress is breathing down the neck of the BRS in Telangana, and he's aware of that. The BJP is not even in the running anymore. Everybody had hyped up the BJP to be the contender. They are not. And the Congress, in all probability, is going to defeat the BRS in Telangana. So I can quite understand that his bigger animus today is actually towards the Congress and not the BJP. You know, I couldn't come to you earlier on Maharashtra. I live here, Navika. I can tell you this. The BJP took on Eknath Shinde because they thought he was going to be a big electoral asset. Now they have realized he's a political liability. In bringing in Ajit Pawar, I can tell you, you're going to hear a major breaking news in Maharashtra in the coming few weeks. And trust me, the people of Maharashtra are not going to forgive the BJP for giving this crude game of magical, kind of musical chairs by which they have conducted the politics here. So you're going to see a lot of drama in Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar he wants to be the chief minister. Everybody knows that. And there is a major fissures and cracks within. And the people of Maharashtra are watching. I can tell you the results from Maharashtra in the Lok Sabha will be significant.
Well, Maharashtra seems to be the only state you're worried about. Uttar Pradesh pe ek bhi comment nahi diya, but Pugal Gandhi. 1 minute, Mr. Pugal Gandhi, I want to ask you this. India alliance, they've come together. It's a better act than the act that the opposition put together in 2019. Fair point. But is the momentum with the opposition with just making an alliance? Because every other day there are contradictions that are going to emerge. Whether it is Aam Aadmi Party versus Congress or Congress versus, somebody else, because as far as regional parties are concerned, they'll have to cede ground to the Congress party if they have to get into an alliance. And does that work well for regional parties, including yours?
See, Navika, first of all, I would like to say that I have some serious reservations with respect to the numbers put out here, because these numbers, it appears that they are not representing the real picture on the ground, basically. See, when we talk about the India alliance and the NDA, India alliance has got some formidable parties. It is an alliance of formidable parties. Roughly 21 political parties joined together, and many of them were in power many of them are in power in the various states or in dominant positions. Whereas NDA is concerned, not even 5 to 6 parties are in power in the states, or having even one MPs from their respective states. So this particular arithmetic, maybe with respect to Uttar Pradesh, the BJP, the NDA, and with respect to Gujarat, the NDA may have a slight edge. But as far as the other parts of the country are concerned, these numbers are not totally realistic. With respect to the opposition parties, today the opposition parties are very clear. They have to unite together. Unless and until they unite together.
Okay, so will uniting together actually lead to seats in Lok Sabha? Piyush Tanwar, you are the cephalogist. Tell me, on the ground, the sound and fury in social media and in television studios you are seeing from the opposition, is it reflected and mirrored on the ground?
First of all, I would say, see, Lok Sabha election and assembly elections are totally different. Even people know this distinction. So even when we are working in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, when we ask this in assembly, whatever party they prefer, but they change. When we have asked specifically in Lok Sabha which party will you vote for, and they even if the Congress voter, we have seen voting for the BJP. And what Sir said, why BJP is he's not able to understand that arithmetic. So in that NDA, BJP is gaining the most, even though all the small parties they have joined, LJP and all, BJP is gaining the most. And talking about the India is gaining basically from DMK, obviously they were in alliance previously, and TMC, and somewhat in Shiv Sena. That's it.
The others are not bringing anything to the table.
No, somewhat if Aam Aadmi Party is still with them, somewhat from Aam Aadmi Party, somewhat from Samajwadi Party, nothing more
Let's take a look at overall what is the status of all political parties. The Congress at 62 to 80 does not cross the 100 mark. Trinamool Congress 22 to 24. DMK 20 to 24, BRS 9 to 11, Aam Aadmi Party 5 to 7. Where does that leave really the Congress party at under 100? Dr. Anand Ranganathan?
Well, it almost doubles what their count in 2019 is. So I think Rahul's Bharat Jodo Yatra is working. But as far as, my good friend from the DMK is concerned, can I please tell him that you have, I think, very unbiasedly, objectively given 20 to 24 seats to DMK. Is he expecting more than 30 seats for the DMK this election? Please, he should come out and say so.
Mr. Gandhi?
I'm not able to hear you. Could you repeat?
Well, no time to repeat. Ghanshyam Tiwari, are you surprised by these numbers? Of course you would be, because you would suddenly be imagining that India will get 450 seats, but that's not happening in this survey. 296 to 326 clearly shows Mr. Modi is all set to come back for a third term. And is that because the country still trusts him?
Well, I am never surprised by imaginary numbers. For example, Anand quoted imaginary numbers of Uttar Pradesh NSDP. The RBI State of the State survey says that Uttar Pradesh NSDP was 41,000 in 2016-17, and it was less than that in 2021-22. The last date that survey was published.
Absolutely.
As far as BJP is concerned, they have Bittu Bajrangi and Monu Manesan in Rajasthan, in Haryana. They have Brajbhushan Singh in Uttar Pradesh. They have Babu Bajrangi in Gujarat. These are the people who are the mascots of BJP. If you think that women in this country will vote for a party that stands with Brajbhushan,
आपके भी मुख्तार अंसारी थे, आजम खान साहब थे,
आप बीजेपी के स्पोक्सपर्सन
गायत्री प्रजापति थे, but Gaurav Bhatia, I have the last 30 seconds. Gaurav Bhatia, do you want to respond?
These are the mascots of BJP, and no one can make the.
I want to respond to Samajwadi Party, the party which made Gayatri Prajapati a rape accused and a convict in a corruption case.
These are people who are turncoats. Turncoats do not.
They have Azam Khan.
Our party. We do not expect turncoats to be ideologists who can preach to our party.
Well, you know, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you've been in other parties as well before this. Let's not get personal here, but Gaurav Bhatia, make your point. I have only 20 seconds left. Gaurav Bhatia, lowering everybody's faders.
Yes. Navika, I just want to tell you that this person who's making personal comments contested an election from Bihar and he came 11th. He forfeited his deposit. इसलिए शांत रहा करो. But to the BRS, I will tell you, you will contest the elections, the results will come. But I will assure you, the Bharatiya Janata Party will never call the voters voting for other parties Rakshas. We will never blame the EVMs. We will never say democracy in India is dead. And that is the resilience and the ideology of the Bharatiya Janata Party, why people choose Narendra Modi.
Well, when it comes to numbers do the talking, and as far as numbers are concerned, the NDA is poised to get anything between 296 to 326 seats in the Lok Sabha elections of 2024, looking from the vantage point of August of 2023. How things develop, we'll bring you a survey every single month and we'll tell you what is rising, what is working for which alliance, and who's slipping ahead, who's losing ground. But for the moment, Narendra Modi holds all the cards in his hand, and it is going to be a third term if these numbers are anything to go by. And if they are not, then the man you need to talk to is Piyush Tanwar, ETG Research Head in our studios. Thank you, Piyush, for those numbers. And thank you very much to all our guests for joining me on the NewsHour tonight. Good night, be safe, and we'll be back with more news and more debates tomorrow, same time on the NewsHour at 9.